Right, so I have been working on this as best as I can in my free time. I've not obviously done as much as I'd like, but this is something else. Really? Is it picking up the mower? No. Okay. So I really can't just work on the same thing start to finish. I have to do little things in between. So that's kind of what has prevented me from having this all nice and ready to go for 1.21. But the tricky trials are here, so hopefully we can finish it up today. There's not a whole lot left for me to do in terms of porting over. There are some other features that I still want to work on and finish, but it looks like the majority of things are up and running, which is nice. Basically, the go for today is... this is the stuff that is basically written in the old Minecraft language, right? Before 1.20, and everything I have fixed. So we have to go through all these, right? There's only 5 left, so it's pretty nice, right? Check the language, make sure it's all correct, drag them over here, and then test them in game, right? So we'll work on porting everything over first, then bug testing, then hopefully release, and then, you know, extra content and other stuff I want to work on. So we have the affinity system, boss mobs, crafting, the enchant's nexus, and villager work. All 3 of these are sizable messes in their own right. Unfortunately, especially crafting, because basically another thing I did end up doing was I converted all the custom items in the game into a set loot table, right? That way it's uniform. Anytime I want one of them, I can call upon the loot table rather than having to retype them out, right? And have, you know, specific documents that just list out all the custom items. So that's a nice habit I found to get into. Problem is, for all the crafting and all the recipes, I need to convert what was in their functions to spawning a loot table, right? That in itself is annoying, but we'll start here because this should be simpler. Basically, all I have to do is open everything up and refresh the language with me. And if I see no real glaring issues, then I just call it okay, right? So as long as the new pathway is correct, because I did reorganize folders, right? As long as particles are correct, play sound, there's some of the big stuff that's been changed, we're happy. So it does look like all these are fine, which is great. Yeah, you can see here I've already swapped the particles. So we'll just, you know, say that's all happy and healthy. I'm pretty sure all the combat stuff should be fine. The triggers, maybe not, because they're a bit different. Tagging. There's some systems that I would kind of like to rework, but I don't think I have time for any more. And I'd rather just work on new, right, if they're not actually broken. This is probably the worst one, so we need to look at anything that summons an item, right, make sure it's all set to components instead of tags, which it is, so that's good to see. I do forget which I've worked on already, but this is a big headache, right? So summoning entities. Because not only do I have to change the attributes, because that wasn't changed, right? So instead of name, it's now ID, lowercase on everything. We also have the components on the actual equipment they have, right? So for instance, all this. Another thing I really want to do is for any of the summon commands, swap them over to loot tables as well, instead of just being spawned on items. Because again, the items that they currently have might be completely different to what I've ended up going with, and rather than trying to rework them all, again, I'd rather just come up with custom loot tables. So we have to 0-0 all of their hand drop chance and armor drop chance. But it looks like I've already done this section, which is good. What we want to check is if the summon command actually works correctly. As long as it's green, as long as he pops up, he has a little eye on his head, he's sort of invisible, we're happy. So it does sort of seem like I've already done the affinity section. It's good. Summon. Advancements are also going to be another nightmare. I'm probably not going to rework them at this point. I'm probably just going to leave them as they were and get to them at another point. That way I don't have to mess with all the paths. It does look like that's done. EP, that's done. Loot tables are done. Done. Red pot, jigsaw. Alright, looking good. The question is, are all of these correct? Best way for me to test one this long is to just drop it over the actual correct function tab and just check the function myself. So I'm going to say the affinity system does look like it's done. We paste that in. Oh, I was meant to cut it. It's fine. No, it's already gone. Never mind. Yeah. Alright, so we want to just make sure the function works. /function rune chance affinity system. Instead of combat, we want decorate pots, and then we want summon. Yeah, perfect. Oh, look at that! It's already working straight away. Right, so a heart affinity has spawned somewhere underground near me. So that is very nice to see. One thing I have noticed though, the season particles and everything are working, but I'm yet to notice any actual effects for being in the season, which is a bit worrisome because that's going to be a headache to figure out. Oh well. Alright, so after that, God. None of these four are really appealing. I guess we'll go with villager work. Whole bunch of stuff just to open. Again, the pathways and everything in terms of the functions should be fine, right? They all were working, it's just the language change that needs to be updated. The system should be fine, right? Villager work is the correct path into armorer work, then the actual armorer's work, right? So ID count, that looks all correct. It's any time we have the components. And brackets. Brackets are going to be a headache as well, right? So 1, 2, square, 2... Where's this square coming from? Oh, right there. That should be fine. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't look too bad, actually. Enchantments is probably going to be the worst one. I think the cleric was enchanting stuff, and potions. Yeah, so I haven't done potions, and I haven't done enchants, from the looks of it. That's not too bad. Progressions and village data, I don't think. It is kind of getting annoying, right? So obviously they're going to continuously convert capitals to lowercase whenever they get to that section, and it's such a jumble now, right? It's like villager data under all their new language sets should be villager _ data. And I assume at some point it will be, which is weird because this was also the trade rebalance when it started, right? And they changed profession and some other language down to lowercase. Alright. I think I get the gist of where I'm up to. We go back to the work in progress. We can pull up our environment. Fucking villager work. And basically look at the components, which does appear to be changed. But we need to fix up potion and enchantment. Enchantment is probably the worst one to have to fix, because this has been completely changed how it works. And that is just super annoying, right? Because it's now levels and then the name and then that value, which means I can't just replace it nice and easily. I have to basically type it from scratch. But it doesn't look like there are too many, right, in terms of enchantments. We might as well tackle that first with brackets. Enchantment, yeah, there's 4 or so. Actually, this is worse. So I don't think you can set any level. I have to specify what level of Binding Curse or what level of Vanishing Curse it has on it. This just became a headache. Let's test that. Alright, so if I were to go item, modify entity us. Am I doing this the right way? Sort of, but not quite, because that requires modifiers. They're being executed. You know what? I'm doing this stupidly. I have a if statement right here that I could copy. Alright, start and modify. Item is fine. The ID is fine. Sort. This negative statement is wrong though, right? There's still item, components, enchantments, but this field is completely wrong. In fact, you know what? Enchantments might not be capitalized. You know what I need? I need the actual patch notes from when this was changed. God, which one was it though? Was it 18? Might have been before this. Yeah, no. The components were 1.20, weren't they? Not 20.5? Why is this? I don't remember 1.20.8. Wolf variants. Work, no. Item data format, here we go. Yeah, so enchantments is now enchantments. Tooltip, enchantment level. Yeah, this is the annoying thing. If not set, it has an implicit value of levels brackets. Inline map of enchantment ID to level. Ah, interesting. You don't actually have to do levels. Yeah, that's fine. The nice thing is though, Curse of Banish and Curse of Binding in this scenario only have one level. Curse of blah blah blah. Also, one thing that I really like and I've never brought up is any custom enchants you put in the game actually end up, in the directory, which is so cool that it builds it for you. I haven't done the language correctly, but the fact that they're just here in the creative menu is so cool. Time set day. Gotta get MC. Nope, it was at E. The N is throwing me off in the menu. Alright. So that's what we need to, well, except for the stored part, swap this to. And should probably just do it on a case basis. So, enchantments, you know what, I can blanket that though. Right, if we do enchantments, except in that sense, that we wait. What can I add? The bracket. Right, so it should be Minecraft dot enchantments. Everything's spelled correctly. Replace all. Yep. And I do want to find them all anyway. Here we go. Do you get rid of the square bracket? I think you get rid of the square brackets. Each one of them's just in their own. Now if it's a list, surely you still have a square bracket. Either way, it's one for now. Delete that, delete that. That was the wrong one. And then get rid of the ID. Go that. That. 1. 1. Right, not too bad. Right. I forgot the level section. No, that's why it's not square brackets. You want levels. The square bracket has to become a curly bracket. It's super annoying. That should be correct. Right, so that's them two done. Do the same thing to this. That's Vanishing Curse, so I might as well just copy it. I'm guessing the other one is Binding Curse. Copy it start to finish. The only issue I hate with this, you don't stay perfectly on the line, it screws up. But that should be the correct position. And then this one will be, I'm assuming, Binding. No, it's Vanishing as well, perfect. Alright, so they should all be correct. Hopefully, fingers crossed. What we have to change then is the this, the item of tag, the data modify command, is... Oh, another headache. I need to figure out how to actually do that. Data modify entity at E, not S. Type equals item, sort equals nearest, limit equals 1. Starting path would be components. No, sorry. It's on the ground, so it'd still be item dot components dot Minecraft enchantment dot levels. I think that's correct. And then in here we set the value. We go append value. This is incorrect, but it's fine. We'll fix it up in a second. I can highlight it effectively. And the item doesn't actually despawn. Dot 1. Yeah, that's the problem. Did not work. The 1 is incorrect about this. S. Nope. Oh, the joys of troubleshooting. Is it items, not item? No, item, components. Minecraft enchantments, maybe you don't put the levels. Go brackets, levels. Oop. In Anvil, so I can compare the two actually. Right, because I can just manually make this. Now another one. Do that. And let's see what the difference between the two is. For one, this has no components whatsoever. But item components, Minecraft enchantments, what we're typing out, I believe, right? Item components, yeah. Minecraft enchantments, yeah. And could really beat the levels. And so it's this. Why is it not working? Minecraft, version curse, .1, that's correct. Components. Maybe I should just do it the pathway way instead of that. It's not registering at all. Components. That. 1, 2, 3. Nothing changed. The specified properties already have this. Give me a new one. Nope. What if we set the value instead? is going to annoy me. Be correct. And now it works. Curious. So you can't append the value if the components don't already exist, which actually makes that really, really shitty compared to what it once was. God. You know what I might have to do? Is go... Minecraft. Enchantment. Yes. Then append the value. That means you can't use this to enchant something not already enchanted. And you might not be able to use this to not enchant something. Yeah, so append's still not working. You have to set the value every time, which means it will override anything that's already on it. But I'd assume if I take something that has an enchantment, it will work. And it's kind of very limiting. Right, because now, nope. Effective list, yeah, so in this case it can't have that. Minecraft. Enchantments. Yeah, so you can no longer append. I can set the value. That will override it, basically. Right? Yep. Using data modify to apply multiple enchants. How is this going to work? I guess you stupidly have to use the new modify. Try insert. Oh. That's not what I think it is. Merge? Merge might work. Sharpness. Sword. Please get Vanishing Curse too. Okay, so we have to use merge instead of append. Which kind of makes sense because they order themselves as well. Oh well. Slight headache. Done. Anytime we want that, we have to do it this way. In fact, we only want it from the item section. And yeah. What I really should do is, there's a lot of these places, is copy this and change that first. Merge value. Okay. We'll probably be doing the crafting tab at the same time as this. How do I make this easier on myself? We go from the brackets to the level. What we can set it to is bracket levels bracket. Yeah. 3, 1, 8 editing in this. Was it 3112? I think it was 31112. 3, 1, 1, 2. Oh, and get rid of the square bracket. No, square bracket needs to be a curly bracket. See, just one misclick. Absolutely hate it. And save all. Smith. Do the same thing. Do the numbers first. That's probably the easier way to do this. 3, 1, 1, 2. That's the same. No more time that that's going to happen. That's all curly. And then the ID section can go. Hey, I moved my mouse slightly down. Delete, delete, delete. Hopefully these are correct. Name components, data modify. Looks like it should be fine. Save all, get rid of that one. And with this. Yeah. Alright, now this is modifying stored enchantments. Which I assume is going to have to be the same thing again. I shouldn't really have closed the other two, but that's fine. It's item. Components. And then Minecraft. Stored. Underscore enchantments. So. Be fine. Just double check. Yes, yes, yes. And then instead of set, we want, what was it? Merge value. Merge value. Alright, 4, 2, 2, 1. 4, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3. Really? At least there's no gaps between these ones. And this side can go. Looks fine. They've all... what we should check though is just data. Modify. Every time this is brought up. These should be fine. Unmodify, tag enchantments, and value. Why did this not come up when we just did them en masse? That's kind of confusing. In fact, wait, what? Was this the one we did by hand? Is that the difference? Run data modify, BT, vanishing curse, that's all correct. That's kind of weird. This is why we check them. Be that one, and we want to just put Vanishing Curse in there. Vanishing Curse. Evolve. Components, components, components. Looks fine. Components, item components, merge value. That one's fine. All the other times it shows up here. Also look fine. It's kind of weird, right? No, they are in the correct order. I'm just looking at the wrong one. Oh god. This is a headache. The Wandering Trader one for his custom trades. That will probably have to be rewritten from scratch. Value, so they're all fine. And data, that just decreases the count. And the other different slots. Actually, I think they changed the container slots for a llama. I guess we should just double check that. Give me a llama. You have to tame it first, don't you, to give it a chest? Right? Yeah. Is it carrots? Or is it wheat? I'm gonna try carrots. Not carrots. What do you feed a llama? I'll just go with... I feel like it's not wheat. Nope. You just ride it to tame it? I guess you do. Never mind. Oh, of course, that's the wrong chest. Right click. Now it has 6 slots. Good. Some emeralds. How do you just... Is it shift click to open? There we go. We just want to make sure the slots are fine. So you need to stop moving. As he moves completely out of the way. Noisy little rascal. Again, slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that correct? Slot 2. Why do I feel like I go... Yeah, weird with it? We have slot 16, slot 15. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. But no 1. Yeah, so they must have definitely changed this. 1, 2, 3... Oh, it's slot 0 through 5 now. I'm probably better off changing those myself. Here's the folder. First off, save everything. It is. Close that for now. Villager work, llama slots. Yeah, why have I got all the way to 16? Very confused now. You can get more slots, can't you, depending on the strength of the llama? Is that what it is? 1, 2, so it'd be 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it'd be 0 to 15. Right, so... I don't know why I'm off by 1, but then also, it wouldn't be to 16, it would be to... It'd be 0 to 14? Right, that would be 16 slots? No, it'd be 0 to 15. Yeah, it'd be 0 to 15. Alright, so this should be slot 0. And this should be slot 1. At least these are nice and easy to change. just keep 16 there just in case. The question is, where is the llama's trigger for it? Here, emerald. That should be it, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I purposely looked from 2 to 16. Is wrong. This is a bit more of a headache to change. This is meant to... Okay, so it's clearing from the highest to the lowest, so I have to add slot 0 and 1 to all of them. Can I artificially give you strength? Just so I can see. I don't know which attribute it is. Oh, jump strength. I'm right in thinking that, yeah? That they have an attribute that governs how much they can carry? You know what? I have to Google this one. Armor inventory. Ah, I'm not crazy. The wiki still has it listed to 15. Yeah, it has its own strength, but its own attribute. It's just a data value. It's kind of curious. I suppose it should be somewhere here with the data. Slots, no, breed, vulnerability, tame, eating, nope, where's temper, no, rested horse. I'm not saying strength at all. Is it hidden and you can't modify it? I guess we'll just have to presume. You can't artificially increase his strength. Fine. Do it manually. So edit, replace. What these need to start off with is more if statements. Only where there's that, there should be... Yeah, it's a problem. God, how do I do this? The 2 is its own thing. Right. Now can we fit a whole one? I don't know if I can replace it this long. Ah. Alright. Has to be the development environment. I can have enough length. I just want to edit this one though. There's close. Alright. That needs 3 variants at 0, 1, and 2. What we need to do is delete the bottom one, save it, close that again, open this, copy this twice, 1, 2, right, so 0, but no other slots, unless and unless. Done. Then we have if 0, if 1, but no 2. Then we have 0, 1, and 2. Yeah, and so forth and so on. Basically, that just makes sure it only clears the most build slot, or the last build slot. Oh, but the pathing is incorrect. Well, we fixed all these ages ago. So now it should be villager work. And armor slot. Right, that's it. That's it. Okay, so basically, if you have a villager in the middle... Sorry, if you have a llama in the middle of a village, he should help everyone work. As long as he has emeralds to pay them. That was the gist of this mechanic. What they actually do, I want to completely overhaul and redo, but that's a task for a later date. We're dissatisfied as long as it's functional again, or should be functional again. Alright, then there were 3. We have boss mobs, crafting, and the nexus. Boss mobs should probably come next. Spawning shouldn't actually be too bad. Yeah, it's just changing the ID. No, this is already correct. Never mind. Just the loot tables on them. Which I already have set to need to make. Alright. The enrage timers? Yes, definitely. Oh, what a pain. But they should all be the same thing, so I can blanket replace them. Alright, that's not too bad. Oof. I assume that's still correct. What I want to change it to is need to make. That way I can just type in need to make and find them all at once. Should hopefully find them all. Alright, now these no longer need the UID or the name. I'll just call it enraged. And different attributes, so they can all have the same name. Done. Now we just have to go through like so. Five, 6. Oh, oh, actually, there's more attributes I kind of like to mess with now too. So we have movement speed, health, absorption, knockback, attack damage, armor toughness. I can make them grow in size, which I would kind of like, right? Yeah, let's have a little bit of fun with it. So attributes. Let's think about all the ones we can mess with. Alright. So armor is done, armor toughness is done, attack, knockback, burning time, don't care about. Follow range we could increase as well. Kinda like that. That's not really necessary. So scale is size, so that's the first one. Instead of generic dot movement speed, we want scale, and they'll grow by 33%. Yeah, that's cool. I think it's just that and follow range would be the only other one I'd want to introduce. Makes this nice and easy. Copy that over. And realize that did not go where it should. Follow range. I'm on insert, aren't I? No. That was just weird. Follow range is generic, yes. Alright. Fingers crossed when I do this. Just adds them in. So the scale is going to increase, and their follow range is going to increase too. And it looks correct. Sets the health, sets everything. Perfect. Alright, so enrage is done, spawning is done. The summon mechanic is dependent on an item being detected. That's its own sort of thing. The pathing would be correct though. I haven't done them all. Bosses probably won't be available at release either. Probably want to make sure they're all polished. I think that is boss mobs done as well. Copy that over. Alright, the Nexus and crafting. Now, the Nexus itself should be completely fine. It's just the building that I need to fix, right? As in actually rebuild it from scratch. Well, mainly the villagers. Save them. Or work on a command to summon the villagers, which in itself is still something I have to do. So, minigame-wise, I assume... I shouldn't actually assume. Everything is fine. Guess we'll double-check it. Then it's just the last big hurdle, which is all of the crafting that I've made for the pack. It's not recipe-based, it's function-based. This has no... It does. Dimension, run TP. No, that just controls the dialogue. That's the teleport. That's particles, so that's fine. That's fine. It's Nexus, pathing is fine. Fine. Not seeing any glaring issues. Although in all honesty, it's the minigame one that's probably worse. Dialogue should be fine too. Yeah. Basically just a giant ass script. I don't believe any of this has changed, so just double check it though. Yeah. All good. There's probably language typos or something in there that I would have to rework. Be fine. Minigames. Hopefully none of these are too broken. There is quite a lot though. Alright. Events are fine, tell rolls are fine, effects are fine. It drains your experience, and when you run out of experience, it starts damaging you. Also, I haven't really been paying attention to this, but I believe it's been going up slowly. Yeah, lingering this area, difficulty is 2, and eventually we're up to difficulty being 3. And now difficulty being 4. Perfect. Has affected... What is it? Lingering in this area has affected its difficulty. Enters an area growing more accustomed to you. I don't like that, though. Right? So it's difficulty level 4 now, because we've stayed here so long. This is level 3. This is level 2. They have the same speech, right? It was not very creative when I was thinking of that. So, that's something to tweak. That's fine. This was a really stupid way to do it, I think. Although, I guess there's no real other way to do it. Basically, I have defined. It's just I have. Was it? What am I trying to say? Defined. There we go. Devised and divine kept coming into my head. Defined positions for spawning all the different loot in the zone. Area effect clouds. Should just check this. Maybe little tweaks. That's the right color. I don't think it's meant to do anything. I think it's just meant to trigger something if you're in it. The first one's fine. The bottom one should be fine. Summon markers. Correct coordinates. I think I'm satisfied with a lot of these, except for the loot tables. So many loot tables to remake. Again, spawning in at specific locations. Has anything changed from this? No. Need to look for anything that has a summon that's entity-based. It looks like we're kind of fine. There's Nexus minigames. And the Amethyst minigame Drain. You remember these not really working. Time is X amounts unless your luck is greater than the RNG. Yeah, no, so if you're lucky, it's just less apparent. Here we are. Alright, attribute ID, that's correct. Drop chances, which means I have to add a loot table into this. Because they're meant to drop... Actually, them dropping iron... No, the problem is this, the custom item. So I'm right to disable their drops entirely. It's a bit lazy of me not to fully just delete them out of it. Especially on a, Iron Golem where you can't actually see what the item is. But I am lazy. Custom model data. I also don't know if these are correct. Suppose I can summon one in and see what it's meant to be. Giant ass book. Oh, I think that's still correct then. I did change what some items were. You made more universally jigsaw blocks. Hopefully they're fine. Can't remember why it summons in a big book like that. In fact, that feels wrong. What minigame is this? Yes, that is completely wrong. That is not the correct marker. Here's my glossary. Jigsaw, jigsaw, jigsaw. Nexus. Is it the cluster? I feel like it's the cluster. So 2, 1, 2. That's why I'm meant to be closing them as we go. Jigsaw 2, 1, 2. Jigsaw 2, 1, 2. Jigsaw 2, 1, 2. Oh, you've gone too far. We'll come across it eventually. Custom model data. I can't remember if paper is correct either. There's the wrong folder. Paper. No, lesser greater. The number's correct though. I don't know why I would change them, but part of me feels like I would. 113. Nope, hold it. Yes, summoning in the item is bad. Needs to be a loot table. There's so many item things that need to be changed. We remember what it was? Jigsaw. I do. You want to? Feel like I stopped the bell being. Actually, no, I think I kept the bell with custom just because it's the shortest name. I guess we need to look specifically at the resource pack for this one. Minecraft, models, items, bell. One is still flowers, they're all still flowers. So we'll assume they're correct. This one's definitely wrong though, the flower. Banner pattern being the adult variety of the plants. That is definitely going to be jigsaw again. Loot table, jigsaw, nexus. Yeah, these are going to be all over the place. But it's fine, because again, I'm not trying to do give, I'm trying to change them to loot tables. It's going to be a massive headache. Particle. Bell was fine. Tagging. The shard. That's definitely wrong. A lot of stuff's going to be broken. This is why I really didn't want to have to worry about the Nexus just yet. And then further from that, we have the actual other minigames. Yeah, so many looting tables I need to create and fix. What we will end up doing, change them all to need to make. Here we go. Loot. Rune chance. Dots. And that's a need to make. Place all. And all the give commands we'll have to do on a case-by-case basis. We have to do it throughout the entirety of the thing, so might as well wait. Now crafting. Crafting is also going to be an extreme headache, so I think we will hold off on these two for a little bit and do a little bit of testing and maybe work on some other stuff and come back to it. Is it an item display or block display? It was an item display. One thing I've noticed is no entities are using their abilities, right? So that should be the first path for us to track down. Basically what we want to do is just stand near a husk all the meanwhile and see if he does use something, and maybe I've just gone extremely unlucky. And we need to troubleshoot seasons as well. Let's open the land so stuff still works. Do that. Alright. We have this system, mob abilities, right? Basically what it's meant to do is force a mob to use a special ability, just to function. So for instance, the husk has the choice of these 4 different effects, but I'm yet to see any of them work despite me going through it and making sure all the pathways line up, which has me a little bit worried. There is a ton of scoreboards to it that I really can't remember, because it's one of the first things I ended up making. We do that sidebar, we go like mob cooldown. Them being at 1 means that a mob in the world for each of these different rankings can use an ability, and that way, you know, no 2 hostile mobs will use an ability at the exact same instance. There's going to be different intervals between them, and that way, you know, you don't just get stacked out because you have 14 husks near you. Only one of them can use it in a brief period. Problem is, they're not flickering, right? So they should be going from 1 to 0 and back. So question is, where is the problem? And again, I really can't remember what all the scoreboards are that dictate this system. If we open these 3, I should be able to read it slightly. This is the brain of the system, basically, right? So proceed is a system used to tag them, so only one of them can affect the score, and then we have an interval between the scores being reset. But everything like that looks fine. So mob cooldown passive. This is the intervals, it looks like. activation. Here we go. If I add normal ability 1, what we should be looking at is hostile ability. That's not quite it. Am I misreading this? Execute if there's a player nearby, run scoreboard, add as the entity, normal ability 3. But normal ability is not a scoreboard? No, it is. Alright, so that's not going up. Special ability. Yeah, alright, it's coming back to me. So, hostile, passive, and neutral all share the normal ability cooldown. Then there's elite mobs, special mobs, and boss mobs, and ranged mobs. And then different difficulty. So they all have their separate cooldown. This is not being counted up. So that is an issue. This is not actually being activated by anything, from the looks of it, right? So that is issue 1. Now what I'm curious to see is if we can manually solve it, and then their abilities start working, right? And this is the only issue. I doubt it, but we go execute as all entities, with the exception of they can't be players. I think it's without player? No. That. God, I just have to scroll through this. Minecraft. Why'd I have to do R? It comes after Minecraft. Or my tag's not actually listed. Is that the problem? My tags? Oh, they got me. I think I know. They deleted S's from a bunch of stuff. And that's what I'm thinking is going on here. And all the tag systems don't work. I should be able to go rune chance and then do it all. Right, and that should work. They're high. Try this first. Everyone should be saying hi. No. Yeah, I think that's what it is. What I should do, though, before I mess with this, is look at the normal Minecraft directory. Make sure that is the issue. Data Minecraft. No, see, they still have it as tags. Tags. Entity types. There we are. Entity type. Right? Everything else is correct. Item, world gen, block, yeah. Tata, they had to fumble with the language once again. For no real reason. Let's see if that fixes it. If we go back to normal ability. Considering he has effects on him, I'm going to say, yeah, that was the sole problem. And look at that, the seasonal system's working again too. One slight different thing. So I used Pocket Sand. It didn't actually hit us though, unfortunately. So that's another issue to dig into. We spawned reinforcements. There's Pocket Sand. Right, so as you can see, the scoreboard's counting up for both of them. And when it reaches a certain threshold, they use an ability. And then the other one is going to use an ability. So the zombie used Hunger, Husk used Dry Out. They're all getting the seasonal buffs as well. What's going on? But it feels a bit better. Are you going to bark? You can go if you're not going to bark. Alright. It does seem, though, like they are just powering through their abilities way too quickly. In actuality. But we are seeing variety, so that's good. Yeah, okay. I'm happy again. I was worried that this was going to be a huge headache to fix. We'd go tweaking to make. Especially that. So, the other zombie actually ate him. That's one of the zombie's ability. Is to lash out and consume. Okay. With all that working, we need to expand how to phrase it. The bark, right? So make them actually tell the player they're using ability from further away. Because that's an issue sometimes. I feel like that's not meant to happen. So usually when a entity dies and their ID goes away, their scoreboard goes away. It means I probably have to manually reset this every now and then. No, never mind, that's a different entity? That's kind of confusing. Ah, it's going to be these guys that I'm nearby. Sorry, I'm also trying to wait and see the flower grow. It did not. Alright, that's a problem as well. Alright, so there's tons of passive mobs around us. Squid used Inked. Actually hit us though. They're all working again. So even if they're close and synced like that, eventually they'll become desynced when one of them uses their ability. These barks, though, are problematic. 5, 4... Well, actually, it did change. The question is, why did it change? Yeah, so all the salmon are using their abilities. Some entity just got out of our range. The point we should be looking at is that. Make sure, again, the game is running fine, which it is. It's only at 11. Alright. You can get rid of the scoreboard. And let everyone be on their own. Get me a bolt. And actually be able to test the Bog's ability. Do something. Need these to happen less often. But I don't want spam in chat, especially if it's only a slight difference. Come on, do something. Show me you're working. The nice thing about hostile mobs is if there's lots of passive mobs around, they'll actually use their abilities less frequently. Like, mobs will be less likely to use their abilities if you're near your base. Meant again, the more you explore, the more dangerous the outer world is. Yeah, so it's just fluctuating between the two difficulties, which I don't like. I'm not quite sure what's affecting it. We must be stat-wise on the threshold. But I'm going to say you are not quite working. Ah, actually I know why he's not quite working. You look at tags, not those tags, my tags. I've not added the new mobs to it. Alright. We have the Bogged. Breeze is not undead. No. They're projectiles. They're more projectiles. Passive, we have Armadillo. Armadillo. I'm feeling that that's not 100%. Was I right? Ah, right. The season is giving us luck, and then that's going to affect the difficulty. I spell correct? Armadillo, yeah. Neutral is neither mob. We need Armadillo. We need Breezed and Bogged. Armadillo counts as living. The Blaze is not here. He is here. Oh, I did already put the Breeze. That's interesting. That actually a little bit annoying. Maybe I already update these for the Breeze. least they are separated by what they are. Passive, neutral. Yeah. Alright, that's fine. We can fix that. Bogged. Non-Illager. Bogged. Friend will be an armadillo. Non-item frame. Bow will be the bogged. Armadillo's breedable? I'm gonna say they are. Surely they'd have to be. Freezers are not bosses. Klloo. All these do have a purpose, so I do have to be diligent. Even if it does look like there are a lot of overlap. I'm really worried that I'm going to misspell this. It's just such an uncommon word. For me. Bogged. Alright. Now, if we save and quit, you should have stuff to do. Show me. Wait, you want me? Oh, perfect. He did do stuff. Just missed it. Oh. Did maybe a little too much stuff. I suppose it can be let out. I'm not seeing any potion effects on the arrows though. It's worrisome. Because, as the name implies, they're meant to be poisoned. Anyway, fair enough. I feel like the bog shouldn't, right? Because he's all planty. And so, yeah, I definitely want to make them use everything less often. It's nice and simple if I figure out where exactly the number is. This is just adding to their scores. I wonder if I should change how close a play has to be as well for their abilities. I feel like bosses should be more than 16. Think about it. abilities. Don't think it's in the actual activation. No, it's whatever function runs the activations. I think is in the entities. And the non-specific mob proceed. Nope. Yes, it has to be in here. We just looked at all 4 of them. No, I might as well just do this easy way. Run. Actually, it should just be function. Was it mob abilities? I keep mistyping. Look at that. Function, mobilities, then activation. So it is under mob abilities. Interesting. Pull down mob abilities. Ah, yeah, okay. So passive mobs use their ability every time the counter gets to 1800, 1600, 1920. I feel like just taking a blanket approach. And we'll just go 2700. So we'll go 2400. We will go, I can't do that as quick math. 900, 950, 960, 1880. Did I do that right? No, 28. 29, 80. Alright, I'm gonna get a calculator. 1920 times 1.5. Not 2880. 400. See, these ones we can do. 2880. 4320. 2700. All these are 2700. Alright, so they should be 50% less occurrent. But I do want the player's difficulty score to impact that. Also want the seasons to occur less often as well. Although, with just me, again, we're not seeing much. It's when there's a bunch of entities around that the effects are a bit more recurrent. Alright, functions. Seasonal system. It's the controllers. Yeah. 12 seconds, 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 12, 10, 8, 12, 10, 8. I feel like I space these accordingly. There's always room for error. I guess we wait and see. What I definitely want to do, though, is turn off particles for any buff given from the difficulty system. Jump difficulty, right? These all... No, these all have high particles, right? They set to high particle? Yeah, alright. So the particles they got were from the seasonal system instead, which is fine. Maybe the difficulty prompt isn't that annoying. I think just change how often the player becomes aware of it. That goes back to tick player. And... I think it's down the bottom. Yeah. Bit too frequent. 5, 6, just because it's fluctuating back and forth. I don't mind it fluctuating back and forth, but it doesn't have to spout it every couple of seconds. So what we want to change is to check how often that occurs. I'm trouble finding where exactly I typed it. Here we are. Okay, so every 3 seconds is when it updates, and that is wrong. We want to increase it. I feel like I don't mind it being every minute. Dead. Every minute it detects whether or not you're still... Basically what I'm doing is checking if the player has left a radius of 128 blocks, right? So if you stay in the same area for 128 blocks, it is going to keep increasing in difficulty. This one, area difficulty and difficulty apply. These two don't need to be every 3 seconds. Technically, the score doesn't have to be either. Problem is, they all kind of have to share the same cycle. Otherwise, they'll get desynced and weird stuff will occur. Maybe I should just change how often the bark happens. No, because then the difficulty will be increasing while you're unknowing. I think it's just decrease this side. I just need to pull up my timers. So we can do minute intervals. I feel like minute intervals is probably fine. Oh, season change. It's now medium. Let's see, that's all working. One minute. Every minute it will check. Which means the difficulty score went from 3 seconds to a minute, means that whatever the value was, this should go to 20. Yeah, that's a bit better. Alright, so this shouldn't happen more than once every minute, right? I think that's a little bit better. There are a few other things stat-wise we need to do. So another thing I've done is try to rebalance everything. It's equipment. Alright. So for instance, we have a netherite chest plate, right? Normal. We equip it. We get slower because it's a heavy piece of armor, right? We can also take it a step further. Give myself some items. Loot, give us... feel like they're netherites. Sorry, glossary. Netherite. Scrap. There we go. We want tinker, armor, defense. That'll do. Yeah, so we get this. Netherite means we need ancient debris. We go 1. Hopefully these work. Do that. Please work. I don't think it's working. It's not working because yeah, crafting isn't set up, right? It's meant to modify the stats. I can do it manually. Probably the easier way to do it. I look up the correct one. We have equipment tinkering somewhere here. Yeah. So ancient debris, armor, defense. Gotta modify. That's the helmet. Where's the chest piece? Diamond. Nope. Netherite boots. Leggings. Here we are. Alright, we chuck this in a command block. Should hit it, and hopefully it's correct. Please have different stats. Perfect. Yeah, okay. So now it's going to have even worse bonuses. But instead it also gives more armor toughness than a usual netherite chest piece, right? Only by a little bit for a 10% extra minus speed. And that way, sort of all equipment is a bit more useful, right? For instance, wearing leather could have a slightly different effect. You should be getting quicker, maybe? Hopefully this isn't broken, because I'm not seeing the FOV increase. To be honest, again, I can't really remember which stats were being changed. Ability is at 200, conceals at 100, intellect, solve is down, strength is down, vigor's down. Yeah. Like, you can't jump as well, but you should be more agile. It didn't seem like that gave too much of a FOV increase. I can't actually tell if we're being able to sprint faster. I have another item to actually help with this, so... our attack speed and movement speed is at 103, so it is helping it slightly. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see all your stats, right? So strength is at -9, resolve 17, 16%, 8%. So you can use this to try and hit the caps. And that should be something worth striving for. We're actually making pretty good progress. Aside from, you know, the majority of items being unavailable because crafting isn't done. What I want is seasons to carry an well, not attribute, a stat change, right? So if you're in a winter season, you know, agility might go down, strength might go down, right? We have 5 seasons and 7 stats to work with to try and figure out what the ratio should be. We're getting some of the seasonal effects. I mean, we're definitely getting luck and whatnot. I'm not seeing any of the random events happen. The stuff grows. But yeah, so we do have to write all these down and figure out the ordnance. I think what I will do, though, is I'm just going to carry over the achievements from the older files, rather than trying to mess with them for now. We go Rune Chance, achievements should be empty. We go to the older version. It looks like it's correct. I wonder if the wording has changed at all for these. It might have. These might actually be completely broken. Slash advancement, grants us everything. Reload. Yeah, they are broken. Which is bittersweet, because I did want to completely do them from scratch again. They're just such a pain in the ass with, again, how big the pack has kind of grown. But it sucks that they're broken. It also means every instance of advancement unlock throughout the data pack that I've made so far needs to kind of be scrapped and removed from the pack, which is a headache in itself. Oh well. Alright, so we have crafting, we have advancements. There's all the priorities. Then we have the Enchanter's Nexus, and then we also have this little dungeon section I've been working on. I do want to fix up. Basically, this will be... We'll start, right, in the center here, right? And in however many direction, because we copy and pasted. Just developed in a random dimension. And you can either jump down and start exploring on each level. And obviously we'll have to mess with the variance of the design of each layer, right? Sort of maze, make your way through them. You get some goodies, then eventually, and it'll probably be timed. After a set interval, you'll teleport out. And the idea is, again, you can sort of pick your layer, right? Probably make the top sort of parkour-esque. So either you can parkour around, if you touch the portal blocks, you'll get teleported back home. You make it up here, you get some loot. You can then go to the one further off. And then down the bottom will probably be more PvE oriented. But basically, these are very maze-like. And we've designed them in a way where if they're connected together, you won't be able to make it to here. You'll have to make it to the bottom of that section to get in here. Then you'll be able to, again, work your way up through that section, right, because it's walled off, and so forth and so on. And basically just restrict the player to adventure mode while they're in here. But I do want to do stuff with scale and size, right? Hence why I've left all these weird gaps. Because you can shrink yourself and make your make your way through all these sections a lot easier. I think will be a cool design. But yeah, we still have a few things left on the chopping block. And this will definitely work a lot better when there's multiple segments pasted next to each other. Alright. Let's write down what I need to do. And then I think I'm going to take a lunch break and maybe be back a little bit later. Again, I really want to get this release ready, right, by the end of today. That way, again, because 1.21's just come out. It can be downloaded, it can be enjoyed, and then we just continue working on it like normal. I really want to play it myself, was the whole purpose. There's still a lot that I kind of want to flesh out a little bit better. Anyway, let's just make a little notice board. I definitely want to keep that. Everything else can be cleared. And I have to reskin the mace. Yeah. I've made the mace a lot slower as well, as you can see, right? To try and make it significantly worse. So it in itself gives negative stats, right? Lower agility, not conceal, not intellect. Resolve, which is increased armor and defense. Strength, increased damage. Yeah, so it's just lower agility, which is attack speed, and movement speed. We wanted signs. Like Crimson best. Okay, so we need to do crafting. We need to do advancements, at least introductory ones at the very least. And then we also need to do the Nexus. Right, they're the must-do. Get the pack up and ready. Right, everything else seems to be working. And then we have balancing. Right, so we need to tweak seasons. Need to tweak difficulty. And we need to... what else do I need to do? Everything else should be more or less fine. I think it's just seasons and difficulty. Yeah, no, I think it's just seasons and difficulty. In terms of tweaking. Oh, well, I guess abilities, more or less. At least make sure they're all doing what they should be doing. I.e. the Bog's arrow attack. Tweak. Ability. Tweak. Bob. Abilities. Right. So to do, want to do, and then eventually we need to finish boss mobs. Boss mobs. Enchanter's Labyrinth. Enchanter's Labyrinth. Anything else? Enchanter's Labyrinth. Oh, and then the Nexus dungeon system. Which is way, way in the future. Yeah, so that's not too bad, right? Overall, what we need to do. So we have must do. Right, do. I capitalize, I did capitalize. Wait, you can edit signs now anyway. Get what the thing is. Try to do. Eventually do. Yeah. Alright. We have our ordnance. Ooh. Crafting's still going to be a huge undertaking. But, alright. I think we'll take a break here. Is there anything else I want to do or show off? Right, go get some lunch. No. No, there is not. Yeah, okay. So, I'm gonna go eat, take a break, right? Don't spend all day on your computer. Get some fresh air, all that good stuff. And then I will come back to spend the rest of the day on the internet. Alright. Anyone hanging out? Thank you. Anyone watching a post? Thanks as well. Be back in a bit. And by a bit, probably a few hours.